Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. So we're back in for video 3, Bank Holiday Saturday. Fucking love it. Shit weather out there. I'm in the workshop with all of you. Oh, it's just my happy place, isn't it? Today is an interesting goal. We've got a lot to do, but I think we can achieve it in a day because it's a telly and it's basically wooden fucking Lego, innit? I want to get this guitar finished to the point where I can put it together, string it up and strum the twat, and that's what we'll do. And then in the last video we'll come back and we'll do something unusual I don't normally do. We're going to go through how I'm finishing this beast because that's going to be a complete experiment as well. I'm a little bit ahead of time. I'm going to try something a little bit unusual with this twat because that's what we do around here. Don't normally go for aerosol finishes on wood, but I'm gonna. So yeah, wish me luck with that one. From the last video, we are fretted. We are definitely fretted. We've got stainless steel, narrow toe, traditionales, frets in. I've gone up the edges and I've filed them all off. Yeah, I didn't include that in a video because why would you want to see that? But I did that. I did that motion. So there's no secrets. I used my little angle file, which is almost dead from doing stainless stuff, and that runs on. And I've put a bevel preliminarily on the side. I've now got to finish this fret job. How am I going to do that? How does he do that, I hear you ask? I'm going to put it on my neck jig and I'm going to level the frets. So, shall we reconvene? I'm just going to tart through things today. We're just going to whiz through it. This is a telly. It's very simple. We're just going to go bosh, 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 and we'll do all the stages and see how we get on because it's 8:08 AM and by about 4 PM I want to be in Fritzl's strumming on this beast. Oh, and I've also drilled some holes in the headstock and put my little inlay coin in because I'm experimenting with that. I think that looks quite cool on the laser cut out with a bit of maple and yeah, on there. Fucking waffling Paul, they're glazing over. I need a bit of wood. Right, we've been here before. We've been on this little cheeky angle. Got nothing on the telly today, so nothing to reveal for you. Who am I watching? Who's he watching? Fucking no one at 8:08. My neck is flat. We're still a big chunky chunkerson, so the fancy neck jig is not quite so as important because we're not going to get a lot of flex in the neck. You can test that yourself by just pushing down. I can't deflect that. So whatever I do with me cheeky file, we should be fine. We're just going to red at the tops. Use a bit of masking tape on your frets if you're a gimp and you can't use a pen. You don't want to be getting pen on bare wood. I find a sketching motion is the best way to go. Past editing experience, I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to go through the whole fret job without saying a fucking word. And then I'm going to edit it into a quick musical montage. Are you ready for this? Okay, so we've got a fret job done. We're all polished up to 7,000 RPMs. Very, very nice. After I've oiled everything, the last job, I'll just give it a little cheeky touch up, just when no one's looking and make sure they're super shiny. But I'm happy with that. We need to do some preliminary checks. I've put my pickups in. I've taken the plastic protector off my pick guard. So we have to be a little, oh, it might have another one on there. It's got another one. Cheeky, I like that. At this point, you could be done and just top mount your strings. There's a lot of contention on the internet. Is that better or worse? Does it affect your tone? No, not really. Not after you've plugged it in an amp and put it through compression and dirt and grit and your shit playing. no one will ever notice. But some people, the aficionados, don't like it. So we're going to double check, and of course we're going to string through with ferrules so that everyone's a little bit pleased and we can have a little tweak for charity. Importantly, we are bolted up. Oh, George's isn't like that. If you remember, I mounted my bridge 5 mil further back. We've got a bit of leeway there, so I'm going to have a little look now. We'll get some straight edges out. We're going to double check that we are happy with the position of our bridge, and then we'll mark some holes, because that's the best way of doing it, isn't it? We're just going to sit that one in place, and I'm going to very carefully, without moving anything, right on the edge of that brass saddle. We're going to be 3, 2, 3 back from the 12th to the high E. Mind your frets, ball, you just polished them, you prick. And it means I have got to bring my bridge back. We've got this extra knockout there, which is a shame because the whole world's not going to come into line with this. But I do want my saddles further forward. I don't want them yanked back on the cock. So that's fine. Once everything's fitted, we'll be tickety-boo there. Edge of the Allen bolt. Allen! Edge of the Allen bolt. I'm happy with that. Now it would be nice at this point to get yourself a centre finding drill, one of these. But mine are in my toolbox in a flat that I'm still renovating, even though I don't want to be in there doing actual building work anymore. So I'm going to go in with a 2.5 mil drill bit right in the middle. So I'm just going to use a crappy old wood screw. Cracking, right, that's where that bridge is going. I'm happy with that. Now we've got to mark our holes at the back. Right, here's an important factor. Here's the salesman pitch, ready? You've all seen people do wonky ferrules on Telecasters. Ruins it, and I've fucked one up in the past. And I bought this jig many moons ago for 30 quid from somewhere. I can never find where I got it from. It's been very useful. However, Telecaster bridges come with 2 different size spacings, European and American. So I've had a jig made, yes. This is also 30 quid, but it does both, and it does 4 sets of holes. So you're getting 4 times the amount of holes for the same price. Now in the hooker world, that's a fucking bargain. That's better than a bog off. You have to Google that if you're not from around here. So we are a 54 mil spacing over here in freedom units, wherever that is. So I'm now going to carefully drill through just the outer 2 holes. Now some people will use the bridge and strip it all down and put it on the back and do their ferrule holes with that. It's pretty good, but you can only use it to drill a pilot, and then if you drill wonders, you still won't get perfection. This will get you absolutely perfect ferrules. What a salesman. What a salesman. If you're worried about going level and true, get yourself a drill guide, or use your pillar drill, or come up with some ingenious way. You've got to be able to figure out how to drill a level well. I can't help you with that. You've got to wipe your own ass as well, I'm sorry, and touch your own helmet. And there's me 2 outer holes. Woo, look at that. Piece of cake, innit? And they line up beautifully in the centre of there. That's fine. No need for any centre lines or anything. We've just got to line up with our holes now. There's not a lot else we can do about that. We're going to glue that one down. Or I'm going to stick it down with double-sided tape. Now, ironically, my pillar drill is that little Bosch digital thing, and it's basically a toy. It's a Duplo fucking pillar drill. I've got to use my Harry Monk. I've got to use this one to drill these holes. It's an 8 mil hole. There you go, bit of rocket science for you. You want to check that you've got the corresponding ferrules. Some companies leave them so the little collar is sticking up above the top. I mean, that looks shit. Some people put them in flush. I also want to be able to fit these and sound the guitar. So I go a few mil below the surface. Makes no fucking difference to the overall aesthetic of the thing. So my initial 8 mil hole, that's 1.5 mil. I'm going to go 2.5 mil if we can be that accurate. I don't want to be drilling into my super stainless steel jig. And I don't, definitely with these drill bits. So what you can do is just get them in there and just make sure, go backwards so you're not drilling into anything. Center them in and just wind in backwards and make sure that you can get that drill bit in. Now when we get this drill in, we can push it into place without turning it on and then drill the hole. This is going to be a fucking tough edit, I'll tell you. Today's lesson, how to use a drill bit. Now we can drill our second hole. Because we've gone below the surface, you can pop these in now. There you go, and you'll have some nice straight ferrules. And they're not wonky like the buck tooth girl next door. Get yourself a decent jig, makes all the jeffing difference. Right, what have we got left to do on this guitar? We've got to drill a little hole to get our output jack in. Always get that wrong. We've got to round over our edges. And then we've got to put it together and put a nut on, some tuners, and get it all made up, shall we? Let's get this thing built. It's enough detail for one day. Let's get this thing put together. Entree! Right, we've got our tight neck pocket. She's getting less tight because we've had her in and out a few times. That's what happens in old age, boys. So the last thing we've got to do is shape our neck. That's got to be done now. That's the bit that most of you shit your pants about.
They shit on the windows!
There is a life changer. I'll go get it. This is a router bit from SJ something down here. That is a Fender neck profile. You turn your router on bloody slow and you just nibble away. You don't just go bap, you go bit by bit, and we just nestle it in. We just thumb it in for the masses. That's an amazing bit of kit. It will give you a perfect neck profile, 80% of your shaft, and then you literally just got to coax in the ends and shape them how you want. If you want to know how you're going to shape them, you sit your guitar in and you mark that profile. All right, that's the first bit. I know people want to do it with faceting and Shinto rasps and all the traditional ways. That's lovely, but I'm making 28 to 30 guitar necks a year. I ain't fucking carving them by hand. That's 30 days, bollocks. That there, 30 minutes. Woo! That's amazing, amazing bit of kit. Comes in lots of different profiles. I've even bought one for a wizard neck. Here's a Fender neck, an AliExpress minger. Video incoming. And you can see the shapes and we can see how it folds in. This is a nice gradual slope. It's lovely, it's very cleverly done. Got that wrong on the first couple of builds. So if you lay a Fender neck down, we can see actually that a Tele neck is basically going to do that. And then from about this point, we're going to fake it in. And from about this, I'm going to give a bit extra on the heel and we're going to fake it in. So I don't want to go past those points with me router bit. I'll show you. I'll get set up and we'll go in El Terrifio. It's a fucking scary beast. Make sure that your neck is nice and straight and you've checked it on your truss rod. Because obviously you've got a bent neck, we're going to carve a bent neck. We don't want a bent one. Although apparently they are better. Right, so we're over here on the Scarathon 4000. Remember your safety glasses, all right? Only joking. I'm going fucking double shades with this because you all send me terrifying messages saying it's going to eat your babies. So we've got double glasses. I've double checked that my neck is flat and straight. If it's got a bit of flex on him, put a bit of tension on the truss rod, just enough to hold him straight and level and square. But it shouldn't do because we've got a big chunk here. 21.5mm for the big boys, and they've got a slight taper. Some of them a big taper. I've glued on a scrap of copper, and that's just going to give my neck a little bit of a taper as I go through with the router. I've set my router cutter to that mark. Piece of piss. So all there is to do now is go fucking mental. Just in case anyone's curious, I put that in front of my throat when I'm using it because I'm scared. I'm fucking terrified. Of course I'm terrified.
We interrupt this program with breaking news.
So I'm just going to cut in and remind everyone that this is a charity build. The link below is, I'm doing this one through raffle. I've never done a raffle before. It's international. A ticket is £2.50. I don't know what that is in doll hairs or European groats. So the raffle is ongoing, and I think it's going to go for a couple of weeks past when the build is finished. But get a ticket now. Thank you to Mr. Warman for giving us the pickups. Thank you for Danny for the wood. I've bought a few bits and bobs for it. I think it's a fucking good cause. It's all going to Heart Foundation. Anyway, back to the video. Buy a ticket. Buy a ticket. It's really cheap. Right, here we are. Time for a bit of moving cam. Ready? Time for a bit of carving. Have a little look down here. We're doing a bit of carving. See that? Woo! Fucking fancy teching it. The tools I'm going to be using, it's following my face. I'll bring you in with Dave. The tools I'm going to be using: me hammer, a Shinto rasp, a fucking Issey Miyake, a shit chisel. Someone commented that Marples is not what it once was. I agree, it's not. These chisels are not amazing. And a card scraper and a shit ton of sandpaper. Tricks of the trade, like I've said. Have another neck. You can feel it, you can rub it, you can wank it off like Phil does. Shh, don't say that, they don't like it. So here's my neck. I'm just going to wallow through. We're going to do it with a bit of music, and we're just going to go gently, notching it away, taking bit by bit, not going too far until we've massaged it into. When you're at this stage, it seems a bit daunting to turn that into that, but you can do it bit by bit. This all looks a bit weird, doesn't it? But bit by bit, we can do it, we can achieve it, and we're just going to nobble our way through. I don't think that's a word. What do you think, Fred? Hello, Rose. Fred's always watching in the corner. Give us a wave, you bony prick. Anyway, I'll see you back on the bench when we're carved and I've done a bit of preliminary sanding, and we can put the bloody thing together. I'll bung a nut in as well, you don't need to see that. Let's give it a strum, shall we? Time's getting on, it's 11:53. We're all carved. I'm feeling it constantly. It's the lightest neck ever. Fuck, there's nothing in it. It's very, very light. I'm checking it all the way through. At this point, what I've learned in my journey, which has been arduous at times, is I'm going to put this telly together. I'm going to wire it up. I've put a nut in the neck. You didn't need to see that. I fucking put a nut in. I'm going to put the neck on. I'm going to wire it up. I'm going to get this guitar complete and ready to go down and give it a little rip and make sure it's working. Make sure everything's lining up. Make sure I haven't got to do anything stupid. After we've given it a little strum, we'll come back. We'll go through what I've discovered. You don't want to be finding things when you're putting it together for the final time after you finish. Ask me how I know. Finishing is an absolute prick. So, let's get it put together. I'm not even going to montage it. I'm just going to go, boo! Right, so to finish up, I've got to say that I got sent these from X5. I've got a freebie. I normally use Mr. Bezos's eBay specials, and the battery's a bit long in the tooth. I said, I'm not doing an advert. X5, I'll put the link below. These are really good, and if you search X5, there are some fucking really good videos. These are almost like a pro version, so you could use these live performances. They kind of compete with the Boss ones. I think these are about 100 quid. So they're a bit more expensive than Mr. Bezos's, and I said I'll test them out throughout the year. Thank you for the freebie. If they're shit, they're shit. Fingers crossed they're not shit. Anyway, let's plug in. I've never done it up here before. Anyone who's wondering, I've got a Spark cab that I'll keep under there. It's actually plugged into the Go at the minute. I have got a pedal board down there somewhere, but I can't use the fucking thing. So we're all put together. She's looking nice. I've given her a preliminary setup. Everything works. Next video, we will go through what I've found, what I've got to sort out before I finish it, and then we'll go through finishing it and a little brief setup. I've pretty much, it's intonated. That bridge is intonated in that position without having to fucking yank everything back. So that is a win. That's something we've learned. Something we've learned. I'll see you next week. We'll take this apart. We'll look at a few bits and bobs that I've spotted that need sorting out, and we'll get the finishing done. It's going to be a combination of dyeing and living and painting and clear coating. It's going to be a fucking shit show. Buy a raffle ticket. It's down below. The link is, she's talking to you. She needs you. The link's below. Do your bit for charity, slags.